Hey everybody, welcome to Lawn Buddy. Today we're going to do a quick review of the tools within the Lawn Buddy platform that are built to help you grow in your business. What is Lawn Buddy? Our best answer to that is it's a business management platform that allows you to do everything from your CRM type of functionality, which is customer relationship management, where you have your customers organized. It's all about the dispatching as well, where you have your schedules programmed in, as well as housing all of the records for your customers and helping you invoice and accept payments. So it's a full business management system. That being said, let's take a look at the dashboard together. On your Lawn Buddy dashboard, you've got a couple of key metrics that you want to always know where you're at in your business on. Number one is how many customers do you have? Another great one is how many jobs are due today. That kind of tells you your volume. Unread messages you've got from your customers through Lawn Buddy, and then any invoices that are currently overdue. In your tasks for today, this is going to give you a summary company-wide of the jobs that you have outstanding. You can see there's some helpful labels on the jobs as well, like this job might be overdue, this job might be a recurring job. And then of course, anywhere you see a customer name, you can click on it and get straight to the customer record, which we will do in just a moment. However, also on most of your sections within Lawn Buddy, you have what we call subcategories. So under tasks for today, you have jobs as well as invoices due, where you can see all of the invoices as well by clicking on the invoice number and discovering notes on the invoice to help you know where you're at on what people owe you. Anywhere you see a question mark, that's going to give you some instruction on the section, but hopefully we answer most of your questions in this video today. Let's go ahead and go to a customer here. I'm going to click on jobs. I've got an overdue job for, let's say, Steven. So I'm going to click on Steven's name and go straight to his profile. Now you can also get to Steven's profile by selecting customers and list view. You can also see a map of all the places your customers are on the map view. That can be helpful for planning the proper density in your routes. Now on Steven's customer detail page, we've got past due amount, which is 0, any tags that we have for him, contact information, and then as we scroll down, we see his roll up for his personal dashboard. How many properties does he have that we serve? How many open jobs do we owe him? And what does he owe us in invoicing? We're going to go into invoicing in a little bit more detail later, but for right now, you should know that Steven is going to get invoiced every time a job is marked complete in the app. You can also keep customer notes on Steven, property notes on all of his properties. Bids, you can see there's some different subcategories of open, accepted, pending, declined, and canceled. Same with jobs. We've got some subcategories to keep track of what you've done and what you've not done so far, as well as invoicing unpaid and paid. Now that's an overview of the customer detail page. One thing to note, anywhere you see a plus sign, anywhere in the system, you will be able to add something to that section, whether that's a property, a bid, an invoice, a new customer. Wherever there's a plus sign, you can take an action to add something in. Let's go ahead and jump down, continuing through these categories. I want to come back to checklists and equipment because those kind of build on the next sections that we're going to speak of. But let's go to bids together. Bids is the section where you are able to get a roll up of where kind of your forecast lies right now, whether you have 86 open bids and 16 accepted. So you've got quite a bit in the pipeline there. And then a few that have been declined, and we're going to go back and discover why that happened in those bids. Helping you with your strategy and pricing and other things. Under bids, you've got your subcategories here and then all of the bids listed. I do want to show you one really quickly so that you can get a feel for how these work. Now, whether you are on the free version of Lawn Buddy or Lawn Buddy Pro, you're going to have access to this mapping feature where you can see what the square footage and area is on any place that Google Map has captured via their satellite imaging. If you scroll down, you'll see the bid number, everything else you need to capture on the bid, including material and labor bids. We also do material and labor invoicing, and we'll talk about that more in just a moment as well. But anything from, hey, we think that we can start this in early February. So we'll go ahead and put a tentative start date of February 2nd. Any internal notes for you and your team, as well as any bid recipient notes like thank you for your business or wherever else you say. Also in bids, we wanted you to have a place to kind of transact business. So a couple things to help on the bids side is that you've got the ability to add photos or PDFs, contracts, anything else that you need. You can also allow your customer to prepay for the service that you're going to be giving them, and that will certainly help you with your upfront cost on that job. As we continue to scroll down on our menu here to the left, again, this is an overview. Let's take a look at jobs. Jobs is probably where you're going to spend the most time in this platform. So we want to get a good understanding of the jobs. You've got some of your subcategories over here to look at, but for now, we're just looking at a list view. We can add a job really easily right here. We can view our jobs on a map. We can assign our jobs to our different crew members, or we can look at this on a calendar view, which can also be very helpful. For now, we're just going to look at the list view. And just to give you a taste of what goes on here, we're going to add a job for Austin. We'll select an address, select a description, which your customer will see as a part of their invoice. Put in a few notes here, select a price, pick a date. You can see how easy and quick this is to get through. Assign a crew. If you're going to assign a crew, that's not a required field by any means. And then this is going to be a recurring job for Austin. So we'll go ahead and say we're going to cover him once weekly beginning on the 12th. So that's going to happen every Tuesday from here on out forever. We'll save that job, and now we will always be reminded on Tuesday to go to Austin's home and cut his grass for him. If we continue scrolling down, I want to jump to crew management, and we'll come back to optimize routes. Optimize routes is probably within the top three most asked questions is how do I optimize my routes and what do I do to save more time in the field? So the way that we're going to do that is, first of all, we're going to assign our employees to different crews so that we can control kind of what they see and what they don't see. Adding a crew is super easy. It's as easy as naming it and choosing a color. We've already got some crews here. And then whatever employees you've got, you can change them to any crew at any time. If Orson is helping Chris and Chris is helping Phil on the landscaping crew, you can move them around at any time, and then they will get access to those jobs for the day on their app. By the way, I should mention the crew app only gives access to certain pieces of information. One of the biggest questions that folks have had when they say, I don't want to give my crew access to everything necessarily because they don't understand my pricing structure and they're not familiar with how much insurance it takes to run a business and the costs associated. So for that, we just say we only expose to your crew app where they need to go, what they need to do, give them the ability to take photos of the completed work and complete the job. The one other thing they have access to is an accountability checklist, which we can get to here in just a moment. Once you've got your crews set up, you will assign jobs to them, and those jobs will show up here under Optimize Routes. Now in the crew app, this is even easier, but it's as simple as clicking Optimize Routes on the web platform. You'll see you just have a listing of all of the jobs from closest to furthest away, optimizing the drive time and cutting down the overall time during the day by typically anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours a day. Now that we've kind of explored how you put in a customer, get your job started, and assign those jobs out to crew members, let's take a look at our equipment and inventory section. This is a highly requested feature. There's some details on it if you click that question mark button next to the name of the page up there. But for now, I want to go through a brief description of what this page does. This page is meant to help you keep and track all of your trucks, your equipment, and your consumables for that equipment, meaning your gas, your trimmer line, your blades, and anything else that you use on a regular basis, down to the oil filters. Let's go ahead and scroll down and see under our red Dodge Ram here, we have some consumables listed, but no equipment. Under truck 3, we've got a note here for notes on the truck, and we're going to go ahead and extend this, and we see that we do have some equipment listed, as well as some consumables, and we've got a roll-up of that in these green squares here. So you can always see this truck has X amount of equipment versus this one. If we scroll down, we'll find that we can add equipment really easily in the equipment section, but we can also see what's active, checked out, broken, deleted, and canceled. Now for right now, if a piece of equipment is active versus checked out, those categories are going to be changing soon to be named like on the truck or off the truck, just for a little bit more clarity. But for right now, those categories are named active and checked out. Down here, you've got your consumables that you can add in as you add in your equipment. And that is the summary of what we've got here. I would also mention that there's a maintenance schedule attached to this that you're able to create for each piece of equipment so that your crew always knows we need to take mower A in for this type of maintenance, or we need to change the oil here, we need to get more trimmer twine here, and you can track those things very easily. Part of how you're able to track those things brings us to our checklist feature. The checklist feature is in an incredible tool that allows you to create accountability as well as a clock in and clock out time for each of your crew members in the field. This allows you to say to them, at the end of the day, when you're on the van, I want you to complete the van checklist. And here's what that would look like here as well as on their app. All of these fields are customizable for you, but this is just a sample checklist. I did check the oil, and I can add photos, change the quantity of the oil from 10 to 4, and also put any notes needed about the oil. Same with gas levels on this particular list, as well as log time spent using the trimmer. Any notes for the day, photos for the day, and I'm going to mark that checklist complete. Now, when I do that, I want to show you a completed checklist so that you can see. You've got a clock check-in time, as well as a checkout time here. The listing of jobs that they completed during the day will be listed for your eyes only, as well as the total revenue brought in by those jobs for your eyes only. Now that's the basic overview, except for probably the most important item, which is invoicing. The thing that LawnBuddy is used for most, potentially outside of just plain organization of your business, is the invoicing. I want to show you a couple screens on invoicing that will be really helpful for you. First of all, let's go to the invoice section. You can see you've got a pretty simple list of paid versus unpaid invoices and all of the items attached to them. Actions you can take are to mark something paid, like if you get paid in a check versus getting paid through the system, just mark it paid. However, if your customers pay you through LawnBuddy, these things will be automatically reconciled for you, and you'll just receive the money straight to your bank account. Now, to take a look at what an invoice looks like for you as you're creating these, if you create them manually, you'll see that it's got a basic labor and material setup on the invoice. If you choose to just have a generic invoice, just use one of those sections and it will show up as a generic invoice. You can include all past due amounts for a customer. You can pass service fees on if you prefer and specify due dates for your larger jobs, as well as attach any images, PNGs that you want to the file. Now, to get a good taste for what this is like really quickly, let's go up to your settings where your company profile is, and let's click on company profile. This is how you will set up your business. What's the name of your business? How do people reach you? What area are you generally covering? But here you'll see that we want to send invoices automatically when, as a default setting, when a job is completed. Now, I'm talking to many folks right now who are doing it at the first of the month, and that works just as well. But I highly recommend doing it when a job is completed because it will increase your ability to have great cash flow because people pay you quicker when they have a smaller bill. And when they receive it, like you're going to see in a moment, they pay incredibly fast because it takes the convenience and professionalism that you are providing to them in taking care of their property already, puts it into an electronic digital invoice, and sends it to them in an email or a text with a very easy to pay format that makes you look amazing. So scrolling down, we're going to do some invoice customization here. We've got a logo uploaded. We'll change the watermark on the back a little bit and then select a color to go along with that logo. And let's preview our payment page here. Now, for your customers, you want the transaction piece, which is oftentimes the most painful piece of any business transaction, to be as simple as possible. So what we've got is a simple invoice from your company with the ability to view any details on the invoice that need to be viewed. And down below here, you would see an ability to add a tip, which happens a lot, by the way, just from you giving them the option to do that. And then you'll see that they can fill out their credit card information right on the spot. It makes it incredibly simple and easy to pay, and you'll be able to get paid faster with this. One other thing to mention is that also with the invoicing tool from LawnBuddy, we've seen a lot of folks grow their businesses simply by referrals, which are of course, the best type of customers because they stay with you longer, they pay more for your services, and they come in appreciating you up front because they've been referred by somebody they trust. I hope this was a helpful overview for you of the LawnBuddy platform. If you have any questions, reach out to us at hello@lawnbuddy.com. The best resource to reach us is going to be lawnbuddy.com itself. We hope that you're able to sign up for an account today. And if you're looking to go pro, that's going to be a super simple thing as well under manage subscription under your settings. And we'll look forward to walking with you as your technology partner this year.